Sitting face-to-face across a desk, President Joe Biden and Pope Francis engaged in extended talks on climate change, poverty, and the coronavirus pandemic Friday as the world's two most prominent Roman Catholics ran overtime in highly personal discussions that also touched on the loss of President's adult son and jokes about aging well. Video released by the Vatican showed several warm, relaxed moments between Francis and Biden as they repeatedly shook hands and smiled. Francis often sports a dour look, especially in official photos, but he seemed in good spirits Friday. Their private meeting lasted about 75 minutes, according to the Vatican, more than double the normal length of an audience with the pontiff. The pair sat across from one another at a desk in the papal library, accompanied by a translator. They then proceeded to an exchange of gifts and a broader meeting including the First Lady and top officials. The lengthy session put Biden more than an hour behind schedule for his later meetings. Biden thanked His Holiness for his advocacy for the world's poor and those suffering from hunger, conflict, and persecution, the White House said. He lauded Pope Francis' leadership in fighting the climate crisis, as well as his advocacy to ensure the pandemic ends for everyone through vaccine sharing and an equitable global economic recovery.
A dozen Swiss guards in their blue and gold striped uniforms and red-plumed halberds stood at attention in the San Damaso courtyard as Biden and his wife, Jill, arrived. They were received by Monsignor Leonardo Sapienza, who runs the papal household, and then greeted one by one the papal ushers, or papal gentlemen, who lined up in the courtyard. "It's good to be back," Biden said as he shook the hand of one of them. "I'm Jill's husband," he told another before he was ushered into the frescoed Apostolic Palace and taken upstairs to the Pope's private library. According to the Vatican, Biden presented Francis a woven chasuble, or liturgical vestment, made in 1930 by the famed papal tailor Gamarelli and used by the Pope's Jesuit order in the U.S., where it was held in the archives of Holy Trinity Church, Biden's regular parish in Washington. The White House said it would make a donation to charity in the Pope's name. Holy Trinity is steeped in American history and played a role in advocating for abolition, desegregation and civil rights since it was founded in 1787. President John F. Kennedy, the first Catholic U.S. president, also worshipped there. Biden also slipped what's known as a challenge coin into the Pope's palm during a handshake, and hailed Francis as the most significant warrior for peace I've ever met. The personalized coin depicts Biden's home state of Delaware and a reference to his late son Bo's military unit, the 261st Theater Tactical Signal Brigade. Biden told Francis that Bo would have wanted him to present the coin to the Pope. "The tradition is, and I'm only kidding about this, but next time I see you, if you don't have it, you have to buy the drinks," Biden said, referring to the coin. He added, "I'm the only Irishman you've ever met who's never had a drink." Francis laughed and responded, "The Irish brought whiskey." Biden, 78, also relayed the story of American baseball player Satchel Paige, a black pitcher who played late into his 50s, in a parable about aging. "How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were?" Biden quoted Paige as saying. "You're 65, I'm 60, Biden added, as Francis, 84, pointed to his head and laughed. Francis presented Biden with a ceramic tile depicting the iconography of the pilgrim, as well as a collection of the Pope's main teaching documents, the Vatican said. In the Vatican video, he could be heard asking Jill Biden to pray for me. The warm encounter stood in stark contrast to Donald Trump's 2017 meeting with Francis, with whom the former president had a prickly relationship. Photos from that 30-minute meeting showed a stone-faced Francis standing beside a grinning Trump. Biden's meeting also was longer than the 52 minutes Barack Obama spent with Francis in 2014. Biden takes pride in his Catholic faith, using it as moral guidepost to shape many of his social and economic policies. Biden wears a rosary and frequently attends Mass, yet his support for abortion rights and same-sex marriage has put him at odds with many U.S. bishops, some of whom have suggested he should be denied communion. Biden is visiting Rome and then Glasgow, Scotland, for back-to-back summits, First a gathering for leaders of Group of 20 leading and developing nations and then a global climate conference. Biden and Francis have previously met 3 times, but Friday's encounter was their first since Biden became president. Biden was also meeting separately Friday with Group of 20 summit hosts Italian President Sergio Mattarella and Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi. He will end the day by meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron, part of an effort to mend relations with France after the US and UK decided to provide nuclear-powered submarines to Australia, scotching an existing French contract. Biden's meeting with Pope Francis generated some controversy in advance as the Vatican on Thursday abruptly cancelled plans to broadcast the meeting with Biden live and denied press access. Vatican spokesman Matteo Bruni said the revised television plan reflected the virus protocol for all heads of state audiences, though he didn't say why more robust live TV coverage had been initially scheduled and then cancelled. The Vatican instead provided edited footage of the encounter to accredited media. The visit came as U.S. bishops prepared to meet in roughly 3 weeks in Baltimore for their annual fall convention. Among the agenda items is an effort by conservatives to disqualify Biden from receiving communion. Any document emerging from the event is unlikely to single out the president by name, but he still could face some form of rebuke.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.